Hello, Mr. Lawrence here. I'd like to take a trip with you now down memory lane. An historical view of OSO the Drumming Bear. Now, OSO the Drumming Bear was an ambitious creative project of Miss Princess Melinda's, one that began from scratch at home using taxidermy method and design. Miss Princess Melinda first purchased the body of a young bear, a fake body, and a large piece of faux fur fabric. That's correct, fake fur. From there, she created bear paws out of fake fingernails and acrylic paint. She first applied white acrylic paint on the padding of the paws and carefully laid them out to dry. And then a coat of black acrylic paint to create the finished look. Each paw, 4 of them, one by one, she painted them up with stunning realism. Wow! Just look at her go. Brush, brush, brush. The detail is amazing. Her design template was all measured out in length and width, providing a sensible plan for her to work from and reference to as she created her little monster. After measuring, cutting, and sewing, Miss Princess Melinda made all 4 legs and attached them loosely to the limbs for a temporary fitting. Sure enough, they were a perfect fit. Ooh. Ooh boy, but OSO's got a big head. Next came the padding. White, fluffy, stuffed animal materials to soften OSO up some and give him a natural feel to the touch. How do you feel, OSO? Ready for this? Let's do this thing. It was time to take all the fur off his limbs now and begin wrapping up his body parts in white padding. Sure enough, this took some time. Next came his animatronic brain system, dual subconscious and all. This electrical system would be the mechanism to drive the bear into a strong, regulated backbeat program. Little did Miss Princess Melinda know, but this would give her a lot of trouble down the line. Drumsticks were carefully screwed into the valve piston mechanics, just waiting for OSO to eventually beat the drums. And finally, the head. OSO won't be of much use for anyone without a head, and sure enough, with one pull down his brain stem, there he was. Next came the motor-driven spin mechanism. This allowed OSO to disagree with everything that anyone would ever ask of him. This gave him the appearance of really being in the groove as he nodded along, back and forth while performing live with the group. A very important feature, we thought, and sure enough, this too would become a real headache, no pun intended. There were performances where he simply refused to respond to any questions we'd ask him. Absolute lack of cooperation. Thanks, OSO. There were other shows where he would shake his head at a slant just to irritate us. A final fitting and a fine tuning with a needle and thread, so much work. We felt it was very important that OSO had no spare flab floundering about his sides. A nip here, a tuck there. Double checking every seam. The area around his pivoting head was a real bear. Seriously, very important that the fake fur didn't unravel into the mechanism as OSO turned his head side to side during performance. One might even go so far as to say that he had difficulties making arrangements with himself, but that just was simply not true. Again, with needle and thread, a nip and a tuck, presto! OSO was well on his way to becoming a real bear. A nip and a tuck with needle and thread. Sure enough, a lot of patience required for this sort of work, and Miss Princess Melinda had it. Just look at her go. Level of concentration is off the charts, stitch by stitch, and yes, stitch by stitch. Crucial detailing, to be sure. Just look at that needlework. You go, girl. Oso was now ready to sit on his throne, testing out his groove patterns as he nodded back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, for a little tweaking needed with trusted screwdriver in hand to fine-tune the neck vertebrae. But this took longer than expected. Where's the crescent wrench, Mr. Lawrence? Where's the crescent wrench? Sure enough, a bit of wrenching and Oso could now continue with his high-performance attitude. Oh yeah. More adjustments needed though, no surprise there. I mean, let's be clear about it. This little bear is completely homemade. Won't find this in any store in your neighborhood. Here we see Oso's reconstructed platform, painted solid green. The perfect height for him now. And over here, his first set of lungs. Breathe deep, Oso. Oso's drumsticks needed to be carefully fastened onto the air cylinder piston rods. Not an easy task working with such delicate wood. Nice work, Miss Princess Melinda. Nice work. Now what? To bolt the drumstick in. And to then balance the arms just right. Should have known. Another bolt. Oh, wrong size. Always a challenge when working with proportion and to find the correct socket. How about this one? Nope. How about this one? Looking good. Yep. Perfect. Never to neglect a moment to reflect. Confident that his creator will find a solution every time. God, but that life of a drumming bear.
We're gonna go out there and see what she's got going. It's a work in progress. It's been a few months, well, at least a few weeks, since we've documented anything. Probably for good reason. Don't tell her that, though. But, it's a work in progress, as I say, and she makes it up as she goes along, much like the way Mike Brooks does. And, not always taking measurements, not always making sure that one size fits all. So let's go take a peek, okay? What do we got going on here? Kick drum is fixed, it's been repaired. Pedal was down for the count there. Snare and hi-hat are being put in position. This is brand new. Well, we've fooled around with it a little bit. I know it's been an out-of-body experience for Oso. There he is. Hello, Oso. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're on shore leave, I know. But pension plan has you in there, so not to worry. You got a good 401k.
Okay, ready?
There's the brains behind the band right there.
Yep, that's Oso's new set of lungs.
20 gallons of it.
The band's getting ready for their first music video tryout. A test of Oso's abilities. An audition of sorts, really. Let's take a look and a listen and judge for ourselves.
Okay, trial run. Really looking fancy right about now. I'm glad at you. Yeah. Test run. Ready? Here we go.
You move that door out of the way. Should have moved that door open. Okay.
Tight quarters.
Okay.
Tight quarters. Here we go. summit. The summit of the Dakota. Whatever that means. No, seriously. This could be a think tank. No, OSO is at the end of its creation. Right now, I'm talking quietly so I don't interrupt the maestro behind the creation of the mechanical drumming bear. It looks like, yeah, you're there, okay. It looks like it could be coming to a close here. So, without further ado, I'm going to go down and get a couple snapshots without, too much interruption of the creative process. I'm thinking, I'm hoping. And would you please stand still? I'm getting pretty tired of this. I'm getting dizzy right now. So, please. Okay, fine. So, just give me a second here. We're going to trot down there. And we're going to take a look at the final steps being procured, implied. We're talking the raising of the bar, the right hand, the left hand, the right arm, the left arm, the snare, the hi-hat. Inch by inch, this could be it. Check it out. I'm a bit dizzy.
So yeah, needless to say, there were some kinks in the system. OSO needed more work. Not a whole lot, but a bit more tweaking, fine-tuning, and a delicate detailing of the whole entire network system. OSO being operated on for perhaps the last time, let's hope. The big issue at this point was finding out who, what, when, where, why, and many times how to put the parts back together again once they'd been carefully separated and tweaked. In this case, it was an issue involving the two main hoses for the kick drum. Size and diameter, very important, very important. Ingress, egress, never easy. The box for the brains back in place. Always one to keep the costs down. This casement only cost $2.98 at the recycle center. Oh yeah. Tubing in order, hooking up to the kick drum cylinder carefully. There it is.
I've got to finish this up. It isn't secured. Everything's looking good. The hoses for the hi-hat are a little on the skinny side. Whoa, that's the snare, see? Whoop, that's the kick, see? Come on, come on, come on. There it is. See, that's a little flimsy. We're gonna have to figure that. The cymbal, we don't have to worry about that. He ain't hitting the crash. He ain't hitting the crash. But I'll tell you what. Look at that stroke.
Which track is being edited? Only one track can be edited at a time.
While she figures that out, let me just explain to you. OSO is like temporarily
To exit edit mode, press edit again.
in exile, as it were. I'm glad you took all the wind out of him. I mean, look, and accidentally I pulled his head off, and my sweetheart's pretty angry about that. You've heard of the Headless Horseman. Well, we'll get back to you soon, OSO. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I pulled your head off. That's okay. No, seriously, it's not very nice on my part. I know, it's okay. All right, well, thanks for being understanding.
Melinda begins to edit the MMT8 sequencer.
You have to hit store.
Oh, where's store?
Miss Princess Melinda was the brains behind the bear, that's for certain to sure. The one who figured out all the technical programming using the sequencer and her laptop audio interface.
Yikes, that ain't it.
What are you doing?
Okay, it's true. The kick and the snare are still in reverse to each other, so that's good news, actually. Not sure why the hi-hat's still not working. Melinda has been pre-programming. Yes, it's been a while since we've documented anything to do with OSO, but there hasn't been any real need. He came to life last spring for the music video. He's, well, he's way up there, as I showed you earlier. He's, you know, just sleeping it off, I guess. There he is, yeah. Sorry, OSO. We're getting you together. Don't worry about it. Troubleshooting. Oh, hello. Troubleshooting isn't any fun, especially for those who are troubleshooting. Me, I'm alright.
The final stage is now moving on from the triggered keyboard controller to a fully automated system.
Combining modern technology with the Chuck E. Cheese reality of our new bandmate, OSO the Drumming Bear. We've got audio files inside the program, recently purchased, and we're syncing up the MIDI programs that I programmed straight from the original drum tracks, mimicking them sometimes in skeletal form, always in the most specific. This is the beginning of the end.
First, my sequencing OSO's parts, and then her using her laptop audio interface to govern the program. Wow, finally complete. OSO the Drumming Bear.
Okay, so let's try that one more time. Okay, here we go.
What the heck? Ticka, 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 ticka.
Okay. That's right.
It's a little early. Try it again. We'll get it this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a little delay.
Oh shoot, you know, I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how to, I have to raise that track. Okay, stop.
And finally, a prime example of OSO the Drumming Bear hard at work. What you're about to see is one of the last music videos the Mr. Laurence Experience ever produced, the Teddy Bear's Picnic.
Surprise. If you go down to the woods today, you better go in disguise.
For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because
Today's the day the teddy bears have their sure of a treat today. There are lots of marvelous things to eat and wonderful games to play.
beneath the trees where nobody sees, they'll hide and seek as long as they please.
'Cause that's the way the teddy bears have their picnic time for teddy bears. The little teddy bears are having a lovely time today. Watch them catch them unawares and see the frolic round on their holiday. See them quietly get around. They love to play and shout, they never have any care. At 6 o'clock, their mommies and daddies will take them home to bed, 'cause they're tired little teddy bears.
If you go down in the woods today, you'd better not go alone. It's lovely down in the woods today, but safer to stay at home.
For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because
Today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic. Okay, OSO, how's about you take a drum solo?
Oh, come on. You can do better than yes, there. That's better. You got it now.
Smoking.
beneath the trees where nobody sees, they'll hide and seek as long as they please.
'Cause that's the way the teddy bears earn their picnic.
For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because
Today's the day the teddy bears earn their picnic. Yes, that's the way the teddy bears have their picnic. Today's the day the teddy bears have their picnic.